Mick and Sam, taking you to Jungle Land. Bengals pride, it fills the air. Every week we're always there. Touchdowns, tackles, all the plays. Bengals roaring every way. Stories, news, and game recaps. Jungle Juice, we bridge those gaps. Welcome to the Jungle Juice. Mick and Sam, let's break it loose. Cincinnati, hear our call. Bengals fans, unite us all.
Welcome into this week's edition of the Jungle Juice podcast. I'm Sam, he's Mick. Mick, Happy New Year. How's it going?
Oh, Happy New Year to you as well. It's going good. Not used to doing a show this early, so got the bedhead rocking.
For me, I'm used to doing a show about 3 hours ago or 2 hours ago, usually every single weekday for the day job. So for me, it's a little weird that it's later. It feels like for me, so I'm kind of I'm refreshed and so on. And it is a little weird though. The lighting in here is just different this time of day. They can actually see our faces.
No shit. Like you can't. Well, I don't know if you can see mine that well or not because the glare from right there, my arm just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, you can't see it.
No, that's the. And see, I guess if I go like, well, no, I guess it's really not as bad for me if I do that. But
literally, you cannot see my. It looks like I don't have an arm.
Right. I mean, some people wonder if you ever do. Right? I don't know. Thank you for joining us, though, for this week's episode of the show. We've got, we're going to make this a quicker show. Hooday, Lisa. Happy New Year. Good to see you here as we're on a different time slot for this. We're going to hit a couple of news headlines. We're going to talk a little bit about the game on Sunday. We will hit through, at least, Mick, you had the idea yesterday that we're making our own personal Bengal fan New Year's resolutions, right? So I made some of those. I don't know if you ended up doing that as well.
Yes.
Okay. Should be exciting about that. And then we'll talk a little bit about Bengals Browns. I don't know how much we're actually going to talk about that because I'm not really sure how much of that there is to discuss. The news of the week, though, two really quick things. Really, both of these, though, were already known, but at least became official this week. The Hall of Fame finalists were announced. Willie Anderson and Ken Anderson are both finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Willie was automatically a finalist because he was one last year and got into the top whatever it is of vote getters, but did get enough to get in. So he was automatically passed through the semifinals rounds. And then Ken Anderson obviously is a member of the senior committee. Hopefully both of them get in. And Mick, I think we can say this. If both of them are getting in, I think we got to go to Canton, right?
Yeah, sure. I've never been.
I've never been.
Honestly, that'd be a cool place to go to. I've never been to the NFL Hall of Fame. So
it's wild that Canton is not that far from Cincinnati. It's not that far from Cincinnati, all things considered, but we've never been.
No, that's a bucket list item for sure. So might as well do it if two Bengals get inducted. I think Kenny has a good chance of getting in. I'm not too sure about Willie just because there's some other guys, there's some newer guys in there that I think are first ballots, like Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald,
Eli Manning.
No, Eli Manning is not. If Eli Manning gets in, you want to know what pisses me off more than Mike Evans potentially being a Hall of Famer is Eli Manning potentially being a Hall of Famer because he's been the definition of mid pretty much most of his career, and he just lucked into 2 Super Bowls.
He did beat the Patriots, though. The undefeated big bad Patriots, He did do that. But here's the thing, and I don't think this is a bold prediction at all. If it is Willie Anderson and Ken Anderson both getting in the Hall of Fame, guess who's probably playing in the Hall of Fame game?
Us.
Yes, so we'll be able to see
Reed Sinnett. Wait, who's that?
That's exactly what I was like. Who will be the Bengals undrafted free agent starting at quarterback?
Yeah, let me. I'm going to the draft board right now.
You're just going to pick a random NFL undrafted free agent because I think even if the Bengals draft a 6th round guy, they I don't even know that he would start a game like that. It probably would be. This
game screams Miller Moss.
Oh, No, I don't want Miller Moss anywhere near my Bengals. No, I don't want that at all.
Oh
Gosh.
no.
But yes, I think that would probably be a pretty good prediction as to the Bengals getting that game if it does so happen that way. The opponents have been set for 2026 as well. Again, obviously the divisional games, home and away. I'm not even mentioning those. Your home games next year: Chiefs, Jags, Titans, Saints, Bucks. Not a bad grouping. I mean, you get Chiefs obviously at home. That's obviously one that you're going to circle.
Yeah, can I
Jags,
get since you're a season ticket holder, solo season ticket holder next year, and you're keeping my seat? Can I call dibs on Bucks and Chiefs?
Bucks and Chiefs? I don't know. Maybe I might go to highest bidder.
Well, that'll just be me. That'll just be me on that one.
Right. The away games, if you're wanting to travel, this might be the best. Like, if you're wanting to hit up a bunch of road Bengals games, this might be one of the best, like, as far as close that you're going to get. Dolphins, Texans, 2 further trips, but really not that far. But then you get Colts, Falcons, Panthers, Commanders. All of those are relatively easy day trips that you could make. Obviously, Colts you can do in a morning. And, Panthers, we went to that game, I guess, last season, and I thought that was a ton of fun. We enjoyed it. Nice stadium, nice people down there. And that would be one that I would go back to.
Very quiet city. Charlotte's a very quiet city. Kind of crazy. Like, not a whole lot going on down there.
It wasn't quite at Bengal Jim's tailgate, though. There were so many Bengals fans in that parking lot.
Yeah. And also the pregame party the night before.
Yes.
There's a ton of people at the whatever brewery we went to.
And it was awesome. It was a ton of fun. Then we got our cookout after.
What away games would you be looking into that aren't we're probably going to go to the Panthers game again.
Colts, I think, is one that, to me, Colts doesn't almost even count in that because it is one that is like it's almost a home game, in realms of it's not that far. Falcons would be a fun one to go to because I'd really like to go to that stadium.
That stadium looks really cool. I'd be down to go there.
Texans would probably be a fun one as well for another dome game. I've never seen a football game in a dome. We could go to Commanders.
Have you ever seen a baseball? Have you been in a dome at all? Have you ever been to like a baseball game in a dome?
No.
Miller, I think you went to Miller Park.
I considered it a couple of years ago, but never actually did go.
I did go to a Miami Marlins game a couple of years ago, and it was too hot to not have the retractable roof closed. So, it was actually kind of nice being in a dome. It was nice, air conditioned.
In fact, I think now that we're talking about it, we can almost guarantee that we'll probably, because Colts, I feel pretty confident that, obviously we got to go with Troy, right? And talk smack to him the entire week. Who knows who the Colts are even going to be starting at quarterback next year? Maybe Joe Flacco.
Is that a quicker drive for you?
It's about 30 minutes further. About 30 minutes further. I think it's about 3 to Indy, 2.5 to Cincy. So so for me, there's really no difference whatsoever because by that point you're just kind of continuing to go. But yeah, I think you got some good road trip opportunities in there, and like even Commanders, it's not like DC is that far.
I'm not going to that shitty stadium.
I'm not. I'm not saying that, but
we're not going to that one.
No, but Dolphins would be fun, especially if it's in December again. That'd be a nice little trip down, considering that the game before it was, and this will lead us right into the game. Mick, it was completely wild to me that, the last Bengals game we were at, Ravens, it was like -2, wasn't it? Feels like temperature or something like that.
It felt like -10. I think
it was awful. Whatever it was awful. And then on Sunday, when the Bengals took on the Cardinals, it was 67 degrees. And just to me, I was like, what is happening right now? I considered putting on shorts, whereas we wore like 95 layers in the previous game.
Yeah. I hope you're hope you're taking Zyrtec or Benadryl or something like that, because this weather's been nuts. But yeah, Sunday was warmest day out of all of them, because like it was like a week of consistent like 65-degree temperatures, and then on Sunday, when we were driving home, car was reading like 75 degrees out. That's crazy for December. But yeah, the one game I missed is the 75-degree December game.
It reminded me a lot weather-wise of the DeMar Hamlin night. Because if you remember, that was an uncharacteristically warm night as well. I don't
Yeah,
remember
but that was still only
that warm.
Yeah, it was like 60. It was like 60 degrees out. We were like, oh yeah, this is great.
But yeah, it was great. It kind of overcast, but then the sun would peek out a little bit, make it feel good. The wind would blow, so it was nice. It was pretty windy, but it was a really nice evening or afternoon to watch a game. To dive into recapping this game as well, talking about the Bengals offense in this, Burrow 3 quarters, 24 of 31, 305, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was just Joe Burrow. It's just what we come to expect. The Cardinals really had nothing that they could do to slow him down whatsoever. They did sack him 3 times.
They did.
But other than that, he was Joe Burrow.
Yeah, no, I mean, Joe Burrow looked about, how you would think he would look against a pedestrian Cardinals defense. Not a great defense by any means. And it kind of looks like the Cardinals kind of mailed this game in, so give the Bengals some credit across the board. They played hard and they played well. You saw some fun plays. You obviously saw the Cody Ford play that happened. You saw a really nice Jamar yards after catch touchdown on that first drive. That spin move was dirty as hell. But let's kind of face it. The Cardinals look like they kind of mailed this game in. It's not like they were really. It didn't seem like they were. It was like watching the Bengals against the Ravens a couple weeks ago. Is what I thought the Cardinals looked like in this game.
Yeah, but I mean, and the Bengals at least did what they were supposed to do to a team that hasn't mailed in. The Cody Ford play is so much fun. I never would have guessed, and I don't know if it came across on the TV broadcast, but Lisa will back me up as she was there or if anyone else was there. The stadium was chanting Cody Ford's name. And I just would love that, last week or even when we walked into the stadium that day that, hey, guess what? You're not going to be chanting Joe Burrow. You're not going to be chanting Jamar Chase. You're going to be doing T, but the fans are going to be chanting the name of Cody Ford. You can't make it up.
Take that, TT.
Uh-oh. Don't do it, Mick.
Oh, sorry.
Don't do it. Oh, no. Oh, no. What did you do? We're going to get canceled.
Shit. Oh, well.
Wait a second. What I'm worried about for you is your wife might come around the corner right now because isn't she pro TT?
Nah, I think she's soured on TT over.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a
so
sour
it's fine.
there.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But yeah, the other guy that stood out to me, Chase Brown, he's had a strong finish to the season. And the stat of the game that came away from me is that he had forced a career high 9 missed tackles in that game. And that was according to NFL. What's the NFL's pro next gen stats? Mm-hmm. They had him with 9 missed tackles, and that's huge for him moving forward.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what PFF credited him with on missed tackles for. So he had 3 in the receiving department and 5. Okay, so the PFF credited him with 8 total missed tackles in the game, which is really good.
9 sounds better to me too.
I'm sorry. I'm wondering why the grading wasn't as high for Chase Brown, because I agree. Like if you're just doing an eyeball test and watching highlights from the game or rewatching the totality of the game, that I thought Chase Brown looked really good. Also, has he changed his running back stance? Have you noticed that at all? Like in the backfield, it seems like he's having more of a genty stance back there. I don't know why I noted that during the Cardinals game. But he was like standing a little more upright when he was in the backfield. I don't know if he's. I need to go back and watch like film from prior games to see if he's always done that, and if I've just randomly noticed it now. But if he's changed that running back stance, in recent weeks, and he started going off, I wonder if we've unlocked a whole new Chase Brown.
I did see Tommy, mentioned here 2 former Bengals on that Arizona defense. The first play of the game. ADG makes a good play, breaking up a pass from Joe Burrow. That was a good PBU from ADG. It was, and we've seen that from him throughout the years. Like he would make some pretty decent plays in coverage, and then on that, I think it was on the first drive. All of a sudden, we hear on the speaker. I think it might have been a run play, it might have been a pass. It doesn't particularly matter. We hear tackled by Zach Carter for the Arizona Cardinals.
Who made a good play too. I was like, what the hell? Where was this? Zach Carter.
I just love that they pulled him up from the practice squad for this game. You mentioned the Jamar Chase touchdown. That was incredible. Joe Burrow said that on that play, as soon as he shook the first defender, he knew he was scoring. And Jamar kind of said the same thing. It's just one of those plays that shows that Jamar Chase is as much of a running back as he is a wide receiver. And that's what makes him elite.
Yeah. I mean, he's he might be the most athletic, best athleticism out of any skill position player in football right now. I don't think it's even close. The only other one that would battle him is Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill's a little bit older.
Did Jamar Chase get a 10.10? That's Shamar Stewart, Mick. Okay.
Well, I said skill position player.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you got
10.10.
10.0. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's been a long couple of days. The one grading that surprised me, and again, I didn't go back and watch the game. Samaje's pass blocking grade. You went back and watched it with a closer realm. He made one block on a blitz pickup.
Yes,
was freaking incredible.
Laid him
just sent that dude. I don't know who it was. Was it a linebacker or was it a?
I think
safety?
it was a blitzer. I don't know who it was on, but
I remember just watching it live. He blew that dude up. One of the best pass blocking I've seen. Just annihilated the blitzer up the middle.
Yeah. Pass blocking across the board was really good in this game.
Yeah. Extend Dalton Reisner.
Keep this starting five together. Like, really, it's really just Dalton Reisner, right? Like, everybody else is locked in. You got one more year of OBJ, which he's really looking like the weak link of this offensive line at this point, which is
one more year of Ted, too, I think, in Ted through 26.
You either have 1 or 2 more years of Ted. I really can't remember.
I'll look it up while you're talking.
Also, is my computer not charging?
That might be a problem. So
no, it says the charger's in. Huh.
Yeah, Ted's through 2026.
Okay, Ted's through 26. Obviously, you have Amarius Mims for probably another 3 years. I don't see how the Bengals don't pick up his 5th-year option at this point.
That's the easiest 5th-year option the Bengal decision have had since Jamar. You
have Dylan Fairchild for another 3 years. So, I mean, that's, you know what? It's taken 7 years for Zach Taylor to get this offensive line right, which is kind of embarrassing. Honestly, it's been not even just the 7 years of the Zach Taylor era. Like, this offensive line started playing pretty badly
when Andrew Whitworth left.
Somewhat in 2016 when Andrew Whitworth was there, and then definitely in 2017 when Andrew Whitworth and company left. I think it wasn't just Andrew Whitworth. I guess Zeitler left after 2015. And I think that's where you started seeing some cracks in the offensive line in 16, and then Whitworth left in 17.
Clint Bowling retired too.
Clint Bowling retired in like 2018, 2019. I don't even remember who was our center then. Kyle Cook?
No, it's not that. No.
Oh, Bodine. It was Bodine.
Yeah, Russell Bodine.
Okay, well, he sucked. He was pretty bad anyways, but it was.
I wasn't expecting us to give a Russell Bodine mention on the podcast today. That was
the last time I remember the Bengals having a really good offensive line. I'm not saying this offensive line is really good, but it's definitely way better than what it's been for the past decade plus.
Without question. And Paul Dehner always talks about on the Growler, no donkeys on the offensive line. They don't all need to be great, but you just can't have a really weak link. And you mentioned OBJ is the weak link, but it's not like he's a donkey out there at left tackle.
No.
He is the, as you referred to him a couple of weeks ago, the Tesla stock of left tackles. He's really good some weeks and he's really bad some weeks. And
he was really good in this week, I think. Yeah. 82.7 pass block grade. Only gave up 2 pressures, no sacks. The only sack given up was by Dylan Fairchild. Surprisingly enough, Samaje Perine, even though he had that awesome pancake on whoever that blitzer was.
The point that I made, that I was surprised his pass blocking grade was as low as it was.
Because he gave up a sack on one of his 4 pass blocking opportunities.
Defensively, we've talked about the extension games. Dax Hill extension this offseason?
I think so. And I think never play him at nickel or safety again. He is an outside corner, and he is a good outside corner. He might be better than DJ Turner at being an outside corner. And DJ Turner's had a pretty damn good season. So, yeah, I think Zach, I think I overheard a press conference from Zach. I think I was listening to like 15:30 on the way home one day, and he pretty much said the same thing. He was pretty much like, I think that outside corner is a spot, and we're going to keep him there, which you should have done this year anyways. But, it is what it is. Keep him there.
I think that the thought process is that you had CTB, you had DJ Turner, you had Dax. Who has the most experience playing the inside? It's Dax. That was probably the thought process of to slot him onto the inside. Because it's not like CTB or DJ. I mean, DJ's probably too quick to put him on the inside. Like, he's a guy that you want on the outside.
He's also not I don't know if DJ Turner's physical enough to play nickel. Also, CTB is way too slow to play nickel. I don't know. What do you think they do? You think that? I don't know. I don't think Jalen Davis is going to be the long-term solution here.
No. And I mean, Braylon Lux, you at least saw him make something, but I'm not sure you're putting that much of a factor into Braylon Lux on that. Probably a draft pick. I think, maybe you're trying to find the next Mike Hilton.
Yeah, find the next Mike Hilton free agency, but those are hard to come by.
Yeah, but luckily a nickel corner too you're not going to have to break the bank on a guy.
No, they're not expensive guys, but yeah, they are hard to find. Good ones are hard to find.
We got to give the linebackers their flowers. They had a pretty decent game. Again,
they did.
Not a great Arizona defense, but Joe Goodberry, shout out to Joe. If you don't follow him on Twitter, do it. If you're a stats guy like us, Joe puts some great stuff out there, and I really like what Joe does. I'm sure he's watching right now. Shout out to Joe. He had a great stat for you, Mick, and it's worth mentioning, and I want to give him credit for this. So PFF gradings through the first 10 games of this season, Barrett Carter had a 33, Demetrius Knight had a 36.7. Over the last 6, Barrett Carter 54.5, Demetrius Knight 52.6. So both have increased their PFF grading by nearly 20 points. So you are at least seeing some improvement in there. And I agreed exactly with what he said. He said, you are seeing improvement, still sign a veteran linebacker, but you're at least seeing something out of these two, at least some positivity.
Yeah, I somewhat agree with that. You also have to just take multiple variables into context here. The past few weeks have been playing against teams that, like I've said, have mailed it in a lot of senses. Maybe the Dolphins not as much. I think the Dolphins did actually try.
The Ravens.
Ravens game, but also, I mean, they've had their own struggles. Offensively this year, they don't look like the same dominant Ravens offense that we're accustomed to seeing over the past couple of years. I think that so I think they play okay against bad to mediocre offenses, but if they run into a buzzsaw like the Buffalo Bills, they just melt down, right? Or they run into, the Chicago Bears. Their offense played really well, and that was more the first half of the season as well. But I think the one thing we're going to take away from the season is just how brutal the first 8 weeks of the season were schedule wise, because they were brutal, especially the weeks that we didn't have Joe Burrow play.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about it in general, like I was thinking about this the other day. Like, let's just go through that schedule one more time. So you had the Browns week 1. Okay, toss that out. Jags, playoff team. Vikings, if they had a quarterback, they'd be a playoff team, but I'd kind of throw them in that realm of kind of a playoff team, Broncos, playoff team. Lions, not in a playoff team, but pretty much a playoff team, Packers, playoff team. Pittsburgh, playoff team. Jets, okay, trash. Bears, playoff team. Steelers, playoff team. Patriots, playoff team. Ravens, playoff team. You're in that realm. Bills. And then finally it fell off towards the end of the season. But yeah, you're just looking at it. The games, I mean, they had what? Jets and Browns are the two bad teams they played all season.
Yeah, and the Browns, it's not like, and the Browns are usually like the kryptonite of the Bengals too. So we can't even call them a bad team, especially when they play the Bengals. Like they
And even then, with their defense, it's hard to say that they're that bad anyways.
No, I think the Browns usually are able to compete with most of the teams they play against. I mean, I don't know. I think their defense keeps them in games.
They just beat a team last week. Oh, so funny. So funny. Oh, it's so funny. We'll talk more about the Browns here in a moment. You know what I'm the most excited for, though, coming up on Sunday, Mick?
All the cheap concessions, all the free concessions, because it's the last home game of the year.
Well, no, they are. I did get an email literally right before the show that until 12:30, certain things are 30% off, but only until 12:30.
Oh, no way!
So beers are they have a happy hour menu. Gates open until 30 minutes before kickoff. Beers, cocktails, souvenir sodas, water, Donatos, and a 2-pack of Conies are all 30% off until 12:30.
Could do it throughout the whole game.
Of course not. Of course not.
Cheapskates.
No. What I am the most excited for is that this on Sunday is the last time we're probably gonna have to watch Geno Stone play safety for the Cincinnati Bengals. He had nearly half of the Bengals missed tackles on Sunday against the Cardinals. 3 of their 8. I'm just so excited that I don't have to watch it anymore after Sunday.
Yeah. I think that people played too much into the Al Golden interview where he was like trying to throw some. What is he gonna? You can't say that Geno Stone sucks. Like, definitely did not commit to him playing in 2026 for this team.
Yeah, he's not going to be like, oh man, that guy sucks. He's the worst thing we've ever had.
Honestly, if he did that, maybe there'd be more accountability on this defense, though.
You would love it. I know you would have. If he just went in there and was like, Barrett Carter is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That is how you build good culture.
Is it?
No,
I was going to say,
probably not.
Because I'm like, do you want your boss to stand up in front of everybody tomorrow and be like, you know, the worst CPA is in this building, Mick Nelson?
I'd feel like that's very true. That's a true comment.
Accurate statement. Got to give a shout out to Shamar Stewart. He had his first career sack. He at least did something.
Yeah, Miles Murphy looked pretty good again. Starting to warm up to the idea of picking up that 5th-year option. I wish they could wait. Yeah, I wish the decision window on that was pushed back another year, just so we could get another year of tape on him, and maybe in a full-time starting gig,
or even like after week 8 next year.
Yeah. We need a little more of a sample size from Miles Murphy than what we've had. He's looked okay. He hasn't looked too dominant. Hasn't looked bad. He's looked like a Joseph Osai. I think he's had a decent amount of production. I think he's starting to get a little more confidence too, which is nice.
May 1st is the deadline.
I'm just kind of wondering, do you stick with Shamar Stewart and Miles Murphy and do what we think they're going to do with the linebackers and find a veteran guy to add into the rotation there? Not somebody as expensive as Trey, but somebody that has a decent amount of like a Josh Sweat kind of, if you get what I'm saying. Or who's the other guy? Somebody else like from the Eagles, some guy that's good but not elite, like a $20 million a year edge rusher.
So your backup edge rusher is not Cam Sample. That's kind of what you're saying, right?
Well, this guy would be starting. This will be a platoon, pretty much. You really should just be platooning your defensive line, anyways, to keep everybody fresh. But I think that they're going to need another guy to throw into a three edge rusher mix fold onto that line.
I have found my linebacker too. That is my, last year I was all in on what's his name, Milton Williams, right?
You were all in on Milton Williams,
and he was hurt most of the season, wasn't he? Yeah, I think. You ready for my guy? And we're early on free agency, but Devin Lloyd
from the Bears, or not the Bears, the Jaguars.
Yes, I think he's my. I think he might, at least my first glance, he's had a really good year. I don't know that he's perfect fit, but
you think they fix the safety position in free agency, or do you think they're going to be all in on Caleb Downs? Like that's.
I think it depends. Talks on where we're going to draft. Where they're going to draft at, and I don't think Caleb Downs is going to be there.
Right now they're at 11. They might want to stay at 11.
Yeah, I don't know. The Caleb Downs will even make it to 11.
I think he probably will. Just given I've done a couple of mock drafts recently, and I don't just simulate picks, but I think that is I think it's possible that Caleb Downs is available at 11 still.
Gosh, are Bengals fans going to be able to help themselves? The Bengal Buckeye fans. Oh, Alex Schubert will love that. It is the new year. So Bengals New Year's resolutions here. So we're coming up with our New Year's resolutions as fans. You've come up with this, Mick. How many? I did 3. How many did you do?
I'm kind of going off the cuff here. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I could do better to be as a fan here.
So do you want me to start then?
Yeah, you go.
I've got a list. Start. I've got a list of 3 here that I've come up with as to be a better fan for me. And it kind of ties into what we were just talking about. I need to not buy into the defense being fixed until at least multiple weeks into the year. Because if you remember, even after week 1, we were kind of like, hey, looked pretty decent. It was against
the Browns. Yeah, against the Browns offense.
We were kind of like, in the league. We were like, hey, maybe. So that's my first New Year's resolution. Don't buy in until like at least week 8. Or unless they play, like if they play. Now, here's what I'm also thinking. Let's hope that Chiefs game's like week 1 or 2 next year. I guess. Yeah.
I think they learned their lesson from 2023 when Burrow wasn't playing because of the week 2 Chiefs game.
Well, it's probably not going to be because now what you're thinking of is, will Mahomes be 100%? Probably. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm more just thinking like that'll make that win a little bit easier. But I mean, like, give me, who's the best offense they're going to face next year? See, that's the pro. I mean, you look at this. Jags offense, you might see something there. The Titans offense doesn't scare you. The Saints offense doesn't scare you. The Bucks offense, who knows what that'll look like. Dolphins offense, Texans, Colts, Falcons, Panthers, Commanders. None of those offenses terrify you as far as to where you could maybe see a little bit of improvement from that defense next year. So that's my first New Year's resolution.
My New Year's resolution, I'm not going to yell as much profanity at games.
You liar.
I'm going to try not to. Nobody ever really sticks with their New Year's resolution anyways, but the thought's there. The thought's what counts.
You liar. Does this count? So you got to start on Sunday then?
2026 season.
Okay. I was going to say, you say this now and Barrett Carter misses a tackle and you're going to
you mother. God damn it, Barrett Carter.
My next one kind of ties into what we talked about to start the year. Definitely multiple road games next year. Whether like a Colts or an Atlanta or something. What's up?
You stole that from
really?
Me. It's a joint. Yeah, this will be a joint resolution.
Because we got some closer trips this year. Like Colts is one that we don't even necessarily need to get a hotel room for. Well, I guess you might, but like still that you can find somebody to stay with in a realm like that of whether you stay in Northern Kentucky or whatever it might be. That's one that you could do. Panthers is one that, I'd be not against doing again. Atlanta, close one. Hell, even Houston, of ones that are just not that far away, depending on when it all lands. So that's mine, and I guess it ties into yours if you have anything else to add to
that. Yeah, no, I would want to go to more away games. Like it's just fun going to a different city, tailgating with different crowds, and
you've been dying to go to Cleveland, right?
No, that's the last place I want to go to.
Above?
Oh wait, no, Washington's the last place I want to go to. Cleveland's probably the second to last place.
We are getting close. I guess is it 27 where we get a trip to Vegas?
Never been.
I've never been either.
My dad's been to that stadium. He says it's pretty sick. So.
Yeah, I'd imagine that it is. And as somebody who just watched the Hangover movies over the last couple of days again, we could have a great night.
Which of us is ending up on the roof?
Probably me. I'm probably Doug.
Yeah. What am I? Am I Alan?
No, I think that's Riley. um, inside jokes now. Okay. Do you have one more? I have one more. Do you have one ready, or do you want me to?
Nah, you just go ahead and go, and I'll.
I need to once again find the winning drink food combination before a game. You know me, I'm very superstitious. But if you remember when the Bengals went on the run in the Super Bowls and so on, a couple of years ago, I was drinking like those, and honestly, they're awful. Like, I don't like them. But it was like Jack Daniel honey lemon something, wasn't it? I remember I drank it one game and they won, and I was like, well, I got to do it next game, and then they just didn't stop losing. So this year, as you've realized, I've switched it up and done different things each and every game and so on. I haven't found the thing that's consistent to do it. So that's my goal this year is that, or next season, that I got to find the winning combination.
I think that's a good idea.
This year, and I'll do it again on Sunday more than likely, the Bengals are 2-0 in home games when I've done an up and back. So when I've driven up the day of the game.
So you're gonna be flying by the seat of your pants and getting up early. And
if it meant a win, I would do it. If it meant a win, I would do it, even though it's not.
What game did you stay the night here for?
That was Bears.
Oh, well, that was not a win. It was a fun game though.
Thursday Night Football was one that I did, and then this past Sunday was one that I did as well. Okay, let's talk a little Bengals Browns. Or did you have another one?
No.
Okay, Bengals Browns. 1:00 on CBS. Tom McCarthy and Logan Ryan will be on the broadcasters, which is like their crew when they just have no one else to broadcast a game. It is Steve Thompson, Bengals Fan of the Year, will be the ruler of the jungle.
Okay.
And the referee will be Alex Kemp. And Mick, I've done it here. Which one is Alex Kemp?
I saw that.
You were curious as to what it is. Which one is Alex
full
Kemp?
Screen here.
Okay, I'm curious to see. And then, honestly, for bonus points, I want you to see if you can name any of the rest of them.
Okay.
Which one is Alex Kemp? I'll tell you this.
Is that Clete Blakeman?
It is not. It is not. Clete Blakeman is not up there. So the Bengals are 5-2. The last time Alex Kemp was the Bengals ref was the Chiefs of last year. He also did the Bills Stripe the Jungle game.
Is Alex Kemp top right?
Is that what you're going to lock in?
Yeah, I'll lock that in.
You are correct. That is Alex Kemp. Good job. Who are the other guys? Can you name any of them?
Is bottom right Alan Eck?
No. Alan Eck is top left.
Top left. I don't know who that is, but he looks like Matt Ryan.
That's Alan Eck in the top left.
That's Alan Eck.
Yes.
Okay, well, he looks like Matt Ryan. Top right. Brad something? Sir Brad?
Top right is who you just guessed. That's Alex Kemp.
Oh, shit. Bottom right. Brad Allen?
Yep, you're right. Good job. Who's the bottom left?
I thought it was Cleat.
Nope.
It's not. It was the guy that. It wasn't the guy that called it. He looks like a Harbaugh brother. But Hockley, is that Hockley? He looks kind of jacked.
See, that's the thing. I got you there. That was my trick on that. No, that is Land Clark.
Okay, I would never have guessed that.
Land Clark.
Okay.
He's been a referee since the 2020 season. So there you go. You did it. You at least figured him out. It's kind of fun to see if you.
They all look. Show that. Go back to that. They all look the exact same.
You do realize I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. It's not like I'm gonna put Sean Smith up there. Is that his name? What's Sean?
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
Like I'm
or
not gonna
Jerome Boger.
Or the dreaded
Jerome Boger.
Ron Torbert.
Gifted us the playoff win.
Ron Torbert. And then Ron Torbert took it away. No injury report to discuss yet. That'll come out this afternoon. Bengals offense against the Browns. There's really only one thing that I think we should mention, and that's Myles Garrett has 22 sacks. He's half a sack away from the record. He went into last week thinking he was going to break it. Pittsburgh actually did a good job in not letting him do that. I'm just curious if they're just like, they make out a deal and they're like, hey, Myles, if you just like, can Burrow just lay down, you tap him, there's the record, and then you just not hurt him? But that's really the only thing I have to mention about the Browns defense. I mean,
yeah, Yeah. How can you manage that pass rush? How can you manage Myles Garrett and company? Is Mason Graham still playing? Is he still around?
I assume he's around.
I would kill to have him on the team, but that's I don't know. There's
I
not
do.
much to really look into this Browns game as a whole.
No.
Folks.
Shadur?
This should be a good game for the pass rush unit. I think this should be like the Browns' offensive line has been pretty horrendous all year this year. I think they're the worst graded unit in the league, even worse than the Chargers, believe it or not. And if there's one thing we know about Shadur Sanders, he is not very good when it comes to dealing with pressure in his face. Does not, doesn't step up in the pocket nearly enough like he should, and ends up taking a lot of negative plays on that front. So I think, hopefully you see a good game from Shamar Stewart, Miles Murphy, maybe even like a BJ Hill sack. BJ Hill, God, he's just like the most consistent player I can remember seeing on this team. He's not elite. He's kind of good. He's all right, but it'd be nice to kind of see him, make a good play here and there against this Browns interior unit. But yeah, I think that, the pass rush really just needs to get home and make life really hard on Shadur Sanders. Back to the offense real quick. How do you think the starters just play the first half in this game? I really don't think they should be playing the whole game. It's week 18.
What's the score?
I don't think it's going to be like it is the past couple of weeks and they're up by like 20, 30 points.
Well, if it's that, then yes, they will. They will sit out the second half or something like that. I would assume though that they if you're winning, probably let Flacco cook against them, right?
Yeah. Let Flacco. Yeah, just give Flacco the full story arc here. Also, we don't know if Flacco is going to retire after this year or what his future outlook's going to be. I think he's still playing at a level where he could still play at least another season. Hopefully he does, and hopefully we keep him on the roster because I think that I would assume Joe Burrow probably likes having Flacco in the QB room. Just the experience that he has and the intangible Flacco has is probably very valuable for Burrow to have along with him. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Flacco out there just a little bit during this game, especially if this might be the last game we see him in a Bengals uniform. And I get that he went 1-5 as the starter with us, but a lot of that wasn't on him. He played pretty well. Especially those Jets and in Bears games. None of that was on him. So.
You think about that, Mick. They win those two games, and they're playing to make the playoffs this week.
Yeah. I mean, really, there's 3 games that I think that...
Yeah. I mean, they win those 2 games, and if they would win on Sunday, they'd be the division champion, and they'd be hosting the Chargers? Are they the 5 seed? Probably
the Chargers. But not even just this game. That Bills game. If we didn't have those late 2 turnovers, it's starting to turn into another season like last year, where if a handful of plays go differently,
actually be the Texans. It'd be the Texans. The Texans are the 5 seed.
They are okay,
and
that would be that we'd be talking a lot of shit on this Bengals offensive line because there's not a lot of offensive lines that can deal with that Texans pass rush. But
yeah, that one would worry me a little bit.
Also, Texans in the playoffs, we just
that's more
taste in our mouths from.
That's more of
TJ
what I'd be
Yates.
worried about. God, you have a Russell Bodine and a TJ Yates mention on this podcast.
Hey, both went to UNC.
They did,
and I think they both played at UNC together.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, they're probably about the same age. There. What's the final score?
Oh, God. 27-12 Bengals.
Oh, that's disgusting. I'm going to say it's 24-13 Bengals. Something similar. Burrow gets one drive in the third quarter and then calls it for the rest. Yeah. Yep. And then they sit and he puts on eats his waffle on the sideline and makes weird faces.
Oh, Nick, I'm kind of hungry. Got any snacks?
Some nuts or a waffle? Have you ever had one of those waffles?
No.
So it's it's like a waffle granola bar. So it's like because one time I was watching, and I'm not even sure if it was on Hard Knocks or something. That is a whale of a time for you to freeze up, Mick. I don't know if Mick just what happened, but I don't know if he's gone or what happened, but what a terrible time for that to freeze on his picture. Mick might be gone. I don't know what's happening. He is completely frozen. He has maybe left us. Mick, are you alive or not? Oh no. Let me try and remove him really quick and see what will happen. Oh, he's calling me right now. He's calling me. Do you want me to just put you on live here to say goodbye?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, chat. My computer just completely froze up. So,
it did something dirty to you too when you froze there. So,
what happens?
Yep, caller number 1 on the air, says Schubert. Here, it froze mid chug for you, so it did you kind of dirty on that. But yeah, we'll just wrap up the show from here. Do you have any parting thoughts?
No. If you're heading to the game, safe travels from wherever you're going. I do not know what the hell's going on right now. Y2K. Anyways. Yeah, if you're heading to the game, safe travels. We'll be tailgating down at our normal spot down Smell Riverfront, right by Bengal gyms. Come and see us there if you want to. But yeah, safe travels going to the game, and hooday.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Jungle Juice. What a way to wrap us up here. We maybe a couple more things we were going to talk about, but we'll throw it on to next week's show.
2025 Bengals season's a podcast.
It is a really good way to describe it. So until next time, thanks for watching and hooday.
Hooday. Thanks for watching.